This is Evan of Buttongenic here in Singapore, where we help everyday people find strength and create lasting change. Today I'm going to talk about a few moves that I like to do with clients as they start to feel their body, and those are bicep moves. It's not something that we start people off with because we want to use more compound moves to help them feel their whole body, but as they're starting to change, something that's quite valuable in my opinion is being able to flex your bicep and feel it. So we want to isolate those moves. So here's my top 3 moves I do with my clients, along with a couple bonus moves that you can kind of practice on your own to understand the function of the bicep. Okay, so I'm going to show you the bonus moves first because these moves, I believe, help you understand the function of your biceps. And so there's 3 main functions. One of them is to supinate the wrist. Maybe you can see my bicep just engage a little bit just with that supination. The next one is elbow flexion. And the third one is shoulder flexion. So even if you don't have like really big arms, like I don't have big arms, but I can make my biceps look big because I hit that function. So we want to practice that. We're going to load the function. So maybe you have TRX at home. I like to use these rings here at the gym and simply set it at a place where you can get on a bit of an angle, quite a bit, maybe a 45-degree angle. And then you're going to take your elbows straight forward while you supinate the wrist, flex the elbow, and flex the shoulder. So essentially the elbow, it's not a row. The elbows aren't behind you. The elbows are traveling up, and that's a lot of bicep. Biceps are primarily engaging to pull your torso forward. And it would be great if you could load yourself up to where it's hard to do more than 10 to 12 of these. If you got to go slow on the way down, you want to keep tension on that muscle group. And literally just one set will allow you to like put that up and feel that engagement. Okay, I'm gonna go show you the next bonus move. This will be done with a cable machine, and we're gonna use just a little D handle, like a single handle for this. You'll choose a weight that's manageable. It's gonna be quite light actually. And this move is hard for people to understand because it really defines the function of your bicep. So again, we're gonna supinate the wrist. So that rotation there, and then we're gonna flex the elbow and flex the shoulder a little bit. Just literally priming the function of the bicep. And this is where some of my clients tend to go because they don't understand this mechanism that well yet. They'll have this like internal pull where they're like using their chest to pull it forward. Now they may not over exaggerate it that bad, but that humerus is coming to center, which is a function of your chest. We're not having any of that. It's purely elbow flexion. You can think about taking your elbow and driving it that way while you're bringing this flexion here. So that primary mover right there really teaches you how to hit the full bicep there. Okay, let me show you the 3 main moves I use with my clients. You can see this is a high incline, seated, supinated bicep curl. It's very simple. You get people in a seated position, it's comfortable, and now you got to try hard with elbow flexion and supination. I am going slow on the way down, maybe even 3 seconds on the way down and 2 seconds on the way up to really put your brain into that contraction. There might be a time within this set that you feel like you need to kind of kip that weight up there, but you really want to go slow on the way down. That's the big opportunity. Something that I see often is that, where you just kind of let the weight just drop. Let's avoid that as much as we can. And then as we get better, I'll move people into a standing position. So here we are, we got to control the core. We're driving force into the ground. That first one is a hammer curl where you're using a little more forearm. But again, the next variation here is supinated where you're really hitting that bicep hard. I like this alternation because you can focus on one side at a time. This is a bit old school here. This is a 3rd variation I do often. You can see my hands are over top of this bar, which is pronated. Takes away that supination, but it forces you to use a lot of forearm. I might do 8 reps or so, and then have them flip it around and have this semi-supinated grip. I use this easy bar because it's easier on the wrist as opposed to a straight bar where you have to really rotate into that supination. I'm going to show you a rep here that you see often. Sometimes people will take that elbow behind them as they curl. We want to try to keep that elbow out in front. It makes the move so much harder, but so much more efficient. Those are my moves. I hope you can take this and apply it to your session. And I will say, if we're not doing it in our sessions yet, it means we got to get flowing even better. My final tip for you is the best advice that I can give you is to focus for a very short amount of time and get 100 sessions in as fast as you possibly can. The best clients I've ever had do 100 sessions within the course of a year. If you break it down, that's 2 sessions a week. But that means they were consistent all the way through. Look forward to more content coming out your way.